Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the house of David, which is the elect. And today, just wanted to get into a testimony of a dream that I had last night. I remember waking up at 3:57 a.m. last night with the recollection of this dream, which I wrote down. Excuse me, which I wrote down because it was very heavy in the spirit, and it's something that we all have to be prepared to have to deal with, especially the men that are on the forefront of this ministry. Hazarding our lives, making our bodies a living sacrifice for the gospel of Yahweh Shai. All right, we know, excuse me, we know that this comes with a cross that we have to bear, and as Yahweh Shai said, that if any man be his disciple, he must take up his cross and follow him. Right, and that cross represents the burden, right, of the affliction, right, the persecution, the troubles that we will have to endure and face in this world, and as we get closer into the end, these trials and these tests of our faith are going to intensify, right? The straight walk is going to become more narrow, but if we are of that precious stones, right, those lively stones which we hope to be, then these trials will only be for our refining, right? As Peter said in the first chapter of First Peter, chapter 7, Salakia, chapter 1, verse 6, it says, "Wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptation." Right? In the GNT, it says, "Be glad about this, even though it may now be necessary for you to be sad for a while because of the many kinds of trials you will suffer." Right? It says in verse 7 that the trial, right, of your faith, being much more precious than gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Right, in the NLT of that part, verse 8, it says, "Their purpose," right, meaning the purpose of these trials or these temptations, "is to prove that your faith is genuine. Even gold, which can be destroyed, is tested by fire. And so your faith, which is much more precious than gold, must also be tested, so that it may endure. Then you will receive praise and glory and honor on the day when Yahweh Shai is revealed." Okay, so knowing that these trials that we go through, that the elect go through, is only to refine you, right? As the scripture says, the furnace of adversity in Sirach, the 2nd chapter. See, acceptable men are tried in the furnace of adversity. Okay, and we all are going to, be faced with different various adversities that we have to, stand firm in, right? Standing firm in our faith in the Lord. Okay, trusting that He will deliver us and trusting that He will provide for us. So in this dream, what I wrote down, which I remember, it says, so in this dream, I was doing a live stream with certain brothers in my camp. And although I was doing this live stream, like, I was at work doing it. So I was doing it in a sense of I was on the phone, but I wasn't really sitting down and actually looking at the camera and doing the live stream. But brothers was going live and I was just chiming in while I was at work. So as we all know, we have scoffers, we have agents that listen into our live streams. We have, people that, brothers that crept in, unawares, people that are spying out, our liberty in Yahweh Shai and the things that we're teaching. So in my dream, I was doing a live stream and I was at work, and I forgot to mute myself, while I wasn't talking. And during the live stream, my name was called over the intercom at my job, right? And the interesting thing is, it wasn't the job that I'm at currently, right? It was a job that, I worked at like long ago, even like before I was in the truth. So my name got called on the intercom at my job. So brothers was, trying to get my attention that, you're not muted. So in the live stream, my whole government was heard. So when that happened, 2 Edomites, right? And they weren't, in my dream, they were just regular Edomites. I don't know if they were sent. I don't know if they were agents or whatever, but in my dream, they just appeared to be like 2 Edomites. They, basically found out where I worked, and they came to my job. And when they came to my job, they were like, oh, there he is. That's him. Because they, were, see me in videos, and they was listening to this live stream. So when they found out that my name, and then they were able to, through, research or whatever, was able to find out where I actually worked at. So they came to my job, and when I saw them, I went into the bathroom. So I went to go use the bathroom, and one of them, followed me into the bathroom, and he had like a handkerchief or like a washcloth rag in his hand. So it seemed like he was, going to. In my dream, I perceived that he was trying to, do some type of physical harm to me. So as I was like using the bathroom on a stall, like I was like watching him and like looking at him, like being circumspect, about what he was, trying to do. So because I was being circumspect and, keeping an eye out on him, he wasn't able to do whatever he was like, trying to accomplish. So when I came out the bathroom, the other Edomite that was with him, he was there, and they basically told me that they know who I am, and they was watching the video, and unless I give them money, right, they were trying to extort me. He said, unless I give them money, they're going to tell, my management and my boss that I am stating, spewing hatred online, and what they deem as extremist or racist views online. So, I didn't comply. I told him, like, I'm not giving you no money. Like, you do what you got to do. So they went to my manager, and then my manager had was basically having a meeting discussing with his manager what to do. Now, the interesting thing about this is, like I said, this was at a job that I worked years ago, but the managers are the managers that I have currently today. So they were having this meeting, and it was like in a glass office. So I was outside of the office. I couldn't hear it. And, that's another interesting thing, because even at my job right now, we have certain offices that are glass. So you can see inside the office, but you can't hear, when the door is closed, you can't hear what is actually, being spoken. So that's kind of like how it was set up in my dream. So I'm looking at my managers have a meeting about what to do, but I couldn't hear them talking. So they finally, you had certain coworkers that were saying, like, they have they never had any issues with me, that I've always been friendly, never had any problems, and these coworkers, they weren't all Israelites. They, other, heathen coworkers that I work with. So they all were saying, like, he's always been a pretty good, coworker, never had any issues with them, blah, blah, blah. So the management brought me into the office, and then they started to ask me about my beliefs. Okay. And when they started to ask me about my beliefs, I told them, well, I have a freedom of religion, right? And I have a freedom of expression, your First Amendment. And I was like, and I never stated or threatened that I was going to physically harm anyone, and that's, a key thing with being in this walk, right? Because Yahushua even spoke about us being harmless, being wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Yahushua did not send the men of the Lord out here to be a physical threat to anybody, right? He didn't send us out here to physically, get into any physical altercations. All right, even Yahushua spoke about agree with thy adversary while he is with you, in the way. Okay, and also Paul spoke about if it be possible to be at peace, be peaceable with all men. See, so these are the foundational pieces and the standards that we are to live by, so that we can be blameless. Because as the scripture says in 2 Corinthians, the 6th chapter, giving no offense. Right? Let's pull that up. 2 Corinthians 6 verse 3, giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed. See, we're not out here to be tough guys and threatening people with any type of physical harm or anything like that. All we're out here to do is to teach the truth of the scriptures, to show our people their transgressions, the house of Jacob their sins, and to bring chant down the the wicked, right? Chant down Babylon, the weapons of our warfare and our carnal. So when I said that, I stated that I never stated I was going to physically harm anyone. The Edomites that were there, that was listening to the live stream, the Edomites said that I said people were going to die. So then I replied, I said that according to the Bible, Yahushua, who you guys call, and this is what I said in my dream, I was talking to my management. I said, according to the Bible, Yahushua, who you ignorantly call Jesus, is going to come back to destroy wicked people and put an end to the Edomites' rulership and to establish the kingdom. So that's what I told them, right? And I'm speaking to my manager and my manager's manager. Okay. And when I said that, they didn't say anything. They just looked at me. They had nothing. They couldn't say anything. Right. So after that, they told me to leave, right, the office, so they can, keep deliberating on what to do. And then when I left the office, and this is like the interesting part, which I found the most spiritual, when I left the office, a person appeared in the meeting, the office that they were in, right? But they weren't acknowledging him. So when I came back into the office, that person, which it was in my dream, the brother Ariala from the Dallas camp, right? And I've only met him personally one time, but it was him in my dream. But he didn't look like himself. But in my dream, it was him for some reason. And when I woke up and I was meditating on it, I realized, through the spirit, why it might have been him, and it more so had to do with I believe his name, right? So in my dream, the brother Elder Ariala, he appeared in the dream and he saluted me right in front of the managers, but it was as if they didn't see it. So he saluted me. He said, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Barakatah, and he comforted me by saying that he had my back and that he was going to be there with me. So when that happened, and like I said, no one else acknowledged that he was in the room. It was just it was as if only I can see him. And after that, I felt, calm, because in a situation like that, in the flesh, you will be, nervous, speaking as a man, being in that type of situation. That's a situation that we've never, most men in this truth never been in, right? Even as Paul said, we have not striven. Let me pull that in the book of Hebrews. Book of Hebrews chapter 12 verse 3. It says, for consider him that endured such contradictions of sinners against himself. And this is why we got to always consider Yahushua, right? Consider what he went through, his walk, right? And you read those gospels, you read what he had to endure day to day, right? As it says, the word for contradictions, it says the opposition, the disputes, the gainsaying. In another translation, it says the hostility of sinners against himself. And this is the King of Kings. This is somebody that was faultless, right? Somebody that was without sin. All he did was speak the truth. It says, lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds. And that's the key point, right? That's why we always got to look toward Yahushua as being that chief cornerstone. See, in the AMP, it says, just consider and meditate on him, Yahushua, who endured from sinners such bitter hostility against himself. Consider it in all of it, and consider it in comparison. Salakia, consider it all in comparison with your trials, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. Right? In the GNT, it says, think of what he went through, how he put up with so much hatred from sinners. So do not let yourselves become discouraged and give up. Ye have, and this is verse 4, ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin. Okay. It says in the the AMP, you have not yet struggled to the point of shedding blood in your strivings against sin. See, and for the majority of brothers, right, really probably most brothers except the elders, we haven't had to shed blood for this truth yet. Okay. And that time is going to come for certain men that are going to, may have to shed blood. You may, have people, we may have people come up and try to attack us, right? We may have, police, right? Or soldiers or whatever, grab us up. Cause I've had dreams about that as well. Being grabbed up, being gun butted and thrown in the back of a paddy wagon because of this truth. See, but we always have to consider what Yahushua went through. Nobody has gone and will go through the beating, right, that Yahushua went through. See, so in in my going back to the dream, right, so when I saw him and he saluted me, I felt calm and I wasn't nervous. That the nervousness of the flesh went away at that point, right? And in my dream, I realized, like I said, when I woke up and I was meditating on it, why immediately when I saw him and he said those words to me, right, that he said that he was going to be there with me and he got my back. In my dream, I like Salaki, when I woke up, I was meditating on it, and I believed through the spirit that it was an angel that appeared, because in my dream, like I said, I thought it was Ariala, but it didn't really look like him, right? But going into the name, right, Ariala, which is Lion of God, see, and that's what in my dream I was doing, right? I was standing stiffly for the name of the Lord, because somebody that would be in fear, they would try to talk their way out of it. They would try to backtrack their words or anything like that. And when my management asked me about my beliefs, I told them exactly what it was, right? And this is the book of Proverbs chapter 28 verse 1. It says, the wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion. Okay, and in that moment, when they asked me about what I believed, I told them exactly that Yahushua, because Yahushua even spoke about it, right? Casting all of our cares on him. I believe Peter spoke about it specifically. 1 Peter 5 verse 7. It says, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. See? So when we are out here and we're speaking, and when these things come up against us, in our actual lives, in the times of our trial, all we have to do is just tell them the truth. Okay. And that's why Yahushua said that you're going to be hated by all men for his namesake, because it's not of our own power that we're going to do anything. We are boasting, in the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, right? We are professing the kingdom of Yahushua, in his glory and his might. And we're going to be hated because of that. We're going to be slandered. We're going to have the accuser come and try to, ruin our lives, ruin our livelihoods. Okay. Lie on us, say all these type of things, make us look evil. Actually, let's pull that up in Luke, the 6th chapter, right? Luke chapter 6, verse 22. It says, "Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake." See that? So we got to realize that, hey, this is going to be, although in the flesh is going to be, a trial, right? In the flesh, it may be, a little unsettling. But remember, if you're getting reproached for the name of Yahushai's sake, the Lord said that you're blessed. And why is that? It says, "Rejoice ye in that day, and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in the like manner did their fathers unto the prophets." So when this time comes, and this time is coming, right? These dreams, these visions that the Lord gives us, I believe through the Spirit, the Lord gives us these dreams so that when these things do happen, we can remember, right? We can have the remembrance of, okay, I've already experienced this in a vision. I know what I got to do, right? And that's why also these, remembering these scriptures is also important. Having these scriptures settled in your heart, in your mind, so that you can, it's like, when you playing football, when you are practicing, right, certain plays, right, when you're going over the script, the playbook, you do that in repetition, so that when it's game time and that play is called in real time, you know exactly what you got to do. You know exactly what move you got to make, what hole, if you're a running back, what hole you got to hit, right? Who's your lead blocker? You know all those things because you've been doing this in repetition and practice over and over and over. And that's what, this grace period that we have now is what we're supposed to be using it for. See? So when that time actually does come, you got to remember to be happy that you're being persecuted for the name of the Lord, because you have a great reward in heaven. Okay? Here in the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 2, we're going to go straight to the point. Verse 46, "Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them, and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of God, Yahushai, whom they have confessed in the world." Okay? And that's something we're already doing now, but then it's going to get personal, right? It's going to get personal to the point where you're going to have to confess. We're going to have to confess Yahushai in our personal lives, and our personal lives are going to be affected. And that's what this dream, was indicating. You see, but in the same way that the Lord did this, he also gave a comforter, right? By having an angel, okay, come and basically, support me in that time. But let me finish this, and I got another scripture to back that up. It says, "Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord." And that's in my dream, what I have written down. The last sentence, I said, after he saluted me, I felt calm and wasn't nervous once I stood stiffly for the name of Yahushua. See? Because immediately the Lord sent a ministering spirit to comfort me in that time, because I stood stiffly for his name. And when things like that happen, and I always say, certain things have to take place, certain trials, certain situations have to take place, and we have to go through certain things for the Lord then to show a higher level of divine intervention, for the Lord to provide a higher level of reward for our faith. He got to test our faith to this level, and then he rewards us with, you know, some type of miracle, or in this case, you know, providing an angel, right, which in the form of a brother, but the angels are our brothers. See, in the book of Hebrews 1 verse 7, it says, and of the angels he saith, who maketh his angels spirits and his ministers a flame of fire. Right? Salaki, is that what I wanted? Salaki, no, I wanted 14. Right? Hebrews 1 verse 14. It says, are they not all ministering spirits sent forth to minister for them who shall be the heirs of salvation? See, that's what the angels are there for. To do what? Minister unto the ones who shall be the heirs of salvation. See, it says in NLT, therefore angels are only servant spirits sent to care for people who will inherit salvation. So that's why in my dream, once again, as soon as I stated that the gospel of Yahushua and what I am in this moment being accused of, right? I said, once again, according to the Bible, Yahushua is coming back to destroy wicked people and to put an end to the Edomite rulership and to establish the kingdom of heaven. And as when I said that, my manager and his boss, they couldn't say nothing. They didn't say anything at that point. And then that's when Ariala appeared, right? Lion of God appeared. And that's when he, you know, saluted me and comforted me and told me that he had my back and he was going to be there with me. And as soon as that happened, I knew. I felt at that point, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good. It's only up from here. See? So this is the book of Isaiah chapter 26, verse 3, one of my favorite scriptures. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. Trust in Yahweh forever, for Yahweh is everlasting, for in Yahweh is everlasting strength. See? So we're going to be kept in perfect peace, even in times that are, you know, in the carnal, troublesome, right? Unsettling, nerving, right? When you got to deal with potentially being fired, right? Your name being casted out, as these Edomites were trying to do, casting me out as an extremist, or, you know, a so-called violent, you know, wanting to physically harm people. But I understood, I knew that, hey, as Yahushua scripture says, in our mouths are found no guile. And that's why when you stick to the script, then there's no reason to be afraid to speak the truth. Right? Revelation 14 verse 5. And in their mouth was found no guile. This is the 144,000 that followed the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. It says, and in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of God. You see? And that's the key right there, man. When we are speaking the truth of the gospel, then there is no guile, there's no deceit, there is nothing that we're saying that is wrong. And when you are not saying anything wrong, then you can stand boldly as a lion. Because really, on the flesh side, what you're scared of, or what, you know, the unsettling part is, you know, the fleshly repercussions of this. But to hell with the fleshly repercussions, because the Lord is on our side. The Lord is with us. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai is the strength of our salvation. So why should we fear what flesh can do to us? Right? Psalms 112 verse 7 says, he shall not be afraid of evil tidings. His heart is fixed, trusting in the Lord. Okay. In the GNT, it says he is not afraid of receiving NLT. Sorry. They do not fear bad news. They confidently trust the Lord to care for them. And that's what that's what the Lord delights in, man. He delights in the fact that we are fully trusting in him to care for us. And as David said, I have been young and now I'm old, and I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor a seed begging for bread. Okay. Matthew 4 verse 11, another example of the angels, coming to minister, to serve, right? Matthew 4 verse 11, and this is after Yahushua was being tempted by Satan. It says, then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. Right? And we have angels, Yahushua spoke about, we have angels in heaven that are Psalms, the 34th chapter, that the angels encamp around about them that fear the Lord. And that's why, I said earlier in my dream, the most spiritual part to me is the fact that as soon as I said, about the truth about the gospel of Yahushua, and then Ariella appeared, and nobody could see him except me, and then he saluted me right in front of them, but it was as if they didn't even see this interaction. Right? And then he told me, don't worry, I got your back. I'm going to be here with you. It was comforting, man. It was like, oh yeah, nah, we good. It's up. Okay. So, I think that was pretty much it, Salaki. And I got one more, and then we'll close it out with this. Psalms 59 verse 2. It says, deliver me from the workers of iniquity and save me from bloody men. For lo, they lie in wait for my soul. The mighty are gathered against me, not for my transgressions, nor for my sin, O Lord. And that's exactly what these two Edomite demons were doing, right? It says in the GNT, look, they are waiting to kill me. Cruel people are gathering against me. It is not because of any sin or wrong I have done. Right? NLT, they have set an ambush for me. And that's exactly what in the dream that those Edomites did. They were listening in a live stream. They caught wind of my government. Right? They found out where I worked, and then they came there and they tried to extort me. And then they, ultimately went up to my management to try to basically, get me fired from my job. So it was an ambush. It says fierce enemies are out there waiting. And we have that right now. We have these demons, these, like I said, these false brethren unawares, right, that are trying to set us up. It says, fierce enemies are out there waiting, Lord, though I have not sinned or offended them. And we haven't done anything to offend them. Okay. We haven't, we don't know them personally. All we're doing is just teaching this truth into who they'd have ears to hear, let them hear. But yet you have the oppositions, man. You know how they say in the world, you got the ops. It says they run and prepare themselves without my fault. Awake to help me and behold. And that's what we are, are anticipating, that the Lord is going to awake and deliver us and help us in these times. Okay, so, I just want to bring that out and, just put that vibration out there for brothers that, hey, we come into those times. So we got to have that mindset, as it says in Sirach, the 2nd chapter, be not hasty, right? Make not haste in a time of trouble. Okay, but, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, because the Lord is definitely going to be with us. And I, I'm fully assured that in those times, hey, angels may even appear for us, man. If we stand stiffly, if we, stand, as it says, stiffly for the name of the Lord and don't deny him, right? The Lord can easily just make an angel appear before us. And that would just be a comforting, faith booster for us, man. Okay, so, and even if the Lord doesn't do that, just still know you spoke the truth. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Okay, so, with that, Lord willing, this was edifying unto the elect, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Shalom.